Hello, everyone. Oh, some feedback, but welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Feel free to drop in the chat sort of where you are calling in from today. So let's share your cities and your states with us. We'd love to say hello. And we know that we see a couple more people sort of trickling in, but we want to make sure that we're mindful of everyone's time. So I am going to get started very shortly, but just want you wanted to say hello, and we'll be getting started soon. I see Huntsville is joining us in the chat. Amherst, New York City. We're in DC right now. New Jersey, Chicago, Brooklyn, Hartford. We love it. Perfect. Thank you so much. We're just waiting for our slide to load and we'll get started. My name is Naika Pierre, and I'm the Senior Partnerships and Program Manager at the NAB Leadership Foundation, specifically the National Association of Broadcasters Leadership Foundation. And so on behalf of our team, we will be meeting sort of later today. We want to give you a warm welcome. Thank you for joining us all over. I also just wanted to make sure that sort of we set the stage for what we're going to show for today. We do ask that you keep yourselves muted until we get to the question and answer portion. We'll definitely leave enough time so you can ask all the insightful questions that you have for today. We ask that if you feel comfortable to keep your camera on. We do have a raffle that's happening, a $100 gift card. At the end of the Zoom will be sort of pulling the raffle winner and emailing you sort of directly. So we ask for active participation and keeping your camera on to be eligible to win the raffle. Before we sort of begin and dive into some of the amazing speakers that we have and some of the career opportunities that they'll be sharing about joining sort of the industry, I wanted to take a moment to introduce ourselves and who we are at the Leadership Foundation. So NAB, or NAB Leadership Foundation, is sort of the nonprofit arm of the NAB, which is the trade association consisting of local radio and television stations sort of nationwide and broadcasters nationwide that advocates for the interest of broadcasters. We at the foundation, we're the nonprofit arm of the NAB, and we like to say that sort of we invest in the people shaping the future of our industry. And we do this through a range of collegiate level training programs intended to help train and sort of get sort of students and the next generation to serve as our broadcast leaders. So we have a couple of our programs that we'll be excited to share a little bit more about with you today, particularly our Technology Apprenticeship Program, our Media Sales Academy, and our Emerson Coleman Fellowship, which are all pipelines to get you started into the industry and get sort of a first role. So before I dive in a little bit deeper, we want to make sure that we share all the information about sort of upcoming applications and programs. And then I'm going to pass that off to my colleague Paloma to get us started. And then we'll get a chance to hear from our amazing speakers today. Thank you.
Thank you, Naika. Can everyone hear me okay? Just a one in the chat will be fine. Okay. Well, again, welcome to our Making Your Own Waves internship opportunities in radio and TV stations. I am Paloma Johnson Walker. I'm the program manager for the NAB Leadership Foundation. And beside my colleagues today, I manage our Technology Apprenticeship Program, our Media Sales Academy, and Emerson Coleman Fellowship. And I wanted to walk you through what those programs look like. Just giving you a high-level overview of each program and its timeline. With our With our technology apprenticeship program, it's for students passionate about engineering, technology, and innovation. In broadcasting, this program kicks off with a virtual session in December, and then it's followed by monthly sessions focused on technical skills, engineering fundamentals, and professional development. And most of our programs mirror this same timeline. We have 2 in-person sessions. With the technology apprenticeship program, our first session is at the NAB show in Vegas, our large trade show conference where our students get to join the sub-conference broadcast technology and IT, where you learn from different industry experts. You'll have the opportunity to do immersive sessions, and then it's followed by a summer internship in June and July. And then we close in August in person at NAB headquarters in DC, where we're all today, with a capstone project where you'll reflect, network, and celebrate what you learned. And our Media Sales Academy program follows the same method, except for it's all about sales and marketing. But we meet in person in February at NAB headquarters. And then we move to virtual sessions, all continuing that sales learning, continuing that professional development. And then we close in May with the sales pitch competition. You'll be using what you learned all across the program to present and then do a career fair with broadcasters. And then we have summer internships in June and July, and we close out in August virtually. Our Emerson Coleman Fellowship is all about programming and production. And it's a shorter program, it's our newest program, but we begin that program in May at Hearst Tower with our partners at Hearst. We have here on the call, but we host that session. It's a 3-day event where students learn all about production, development, syndication, in television. Then you would do internships across the country in TV and at TV stations in June and July. And then we close in August where students have the opportunity to present their TV show ideas. Next up, I'm going to tell you about our application process. Can everyone see the slides? Okay. 1 second, I'm going to stop my share and then jump back in because the slides are said to be blurry. But if any of those programs scream out to you, put them in the chat. Which one you're interested in, we want to hear from you. Let me know when those come through and if they're clear. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through our application process a bit for all 3 of those programs. There are short answer questions around your interest and experience in each one. That's technology and engineering, media sales, advertising, marketing, and then programming and production. And then we ask for a 2-minute video for each of our programs. So with our technology apprenticeship program, it's all about, you know, where you found your passion in technology and engineering, what interests and how it ties to broadcasting. With our sales video, we ask for you to sell us a product. We want to see your charisma, your creativity, and how you would think about presenting a project to clients. And then with our Emerson Coleman Fellowship, we ask for you to share with us a TV show idea. And then we ask for the traditional resume, LinkedIn profile, and your unofficial transcript. And I'm so sorry that the slides are coming in a little blurry. I'm not sure why that is, but listen to the sound of my voice and I will share with you the requirements. You must be 18 years or older, pursuing a degree in any of those fields, but or just have an interest in a shown experience in that area. We love students that have done internships, have extracurricular and leadership experience, and are authorized to work in the US. And bonus if you've worked at your campus or your school radio station or local radio station, or you're aware of those stations. I'm going to let everyone know on the call that we are extending a special application extension for those still interested in applying to these programs for our Media Sales Academy and our Technology Apprenticeship Program until Monday at midnight. Just use code Lunch and Learn in the How Did You Hear About Us section. And I'm going to work to get these slides a little clearer.
Thank you for your patience, everyone, as we get the slides started again.
It's better.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So next up is my colleague Tim Dodson, who's going to share with you the intro to the session and share with you who's going to speak with us today.
Great. Thank you, Paloma. Can everybody hear me? Okay, great. My name is Tim Dotson. I'm the VP of Development for the NAB Leadership Foundation. And in my role, I create partnerships from broadcast companies and technology vendors that work with broadcasters to support programs like the ones we're talking about today. So we are thrilled to have 5 of our leading partners and sponsors on the call with us today. Each of these individuals that you're going to meet are going to talk to you about careers and internship opportunities in broadcasting at their companies. So again, we're thrilled to have them. I'm going to introduce each of them, and then we'll kick it off. From Hearst Television, we have Jen Harriger joining us. From Katz Media Group, we have Artie Aldman. From NEP Group, a huge broadcast technology company, we have Aaron Princes. From Sinclair, we have Katie Braden. And from Tegna, we have Nina Geronimo Maudlin. So thank you to each and every one of you for your support for our foundation and these programs. Thank you for joining us today. During their presentations, for everyone that's on the call participating, feel free to chat any questions that you have while they're speaking, and then we'll answer those questions in a final Q&A session. So chat your questions as they come up. So here's the first thing that I'd like each of our presenters to do, and that is to tell us what was your first internship or job, and what is something that you learned there that you still abide by today. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jen Harriger to kick it off. Thank you, Jen. All right. It's like she's working on a technical issue. We'll give her a second.
I think I got it. Okay. The host has to unmute us, so just heads up there. All right. This is a fun question. I actually just talked about this with a student today. So my internship that I did while I was in college was with Curtis Productions. So it wasn't at a local TV station at all. Curtis Productions is owned by an anchor man called Bill Curtis. He was a very famous anchor back in Chicago, a long time ago. And his production group worked with MSNBC and CNBC on various different shows, but the one that I worked on was called American Greed. So it was a kind of the documentary hour-long style about all different things like human trafficking, all that kind of stuff. So I learned a lot during that time. It was unpaid, so you all are in such a lucky position that now most internships are paid across the board. Take advantage of that. But what I learned was I was going to put every single bit of effort in the time that I had with them. So I showed up early, I stayed late, and I put in the work. And it paid off in the end, not just the recommendations, but being able to show my credits off on national television that me as an intern did. So it's a fun thing once you get your foot in the door, but just put the work in is what I'd say.
Artie, can you hear me? All right, your turn for the question. We can't hear you yet.
I got it. And I thought Jen was going into her deck. I did not realize we were each going around the horn with this. So, hey, everybody. Great to meet everybody and speak to everybody. Very excited to be here. So my first job after college was I worked at a retail chain, which at the time was pretty large, called Gimbels, which was a competitor to Macy's. You're probably all familiar with Macy's. A lot of the younger people on the call probably have no idea what Gimbels was. It was in the movie A Miracle on 34th Street, but I digress. I was an assistant buyer in the camera and electronics area, so I really got insight into the buy-sell process. And I would say the buy-sell process in electronics at a retail chain is very similar to the buy-sell process in television or radio or what you're talking to us about today and what we're talking to you about, because you have to know your product, you have to be a good communicator, you have to be a really good listener. And I learned so much about people, about how people behave. I learned all about bad behavior in business and good behavior in business in my first job. And I'll be happy to go offline with any of you and tell you some very interesting stories. But, just everything about the process, learning about people, just being a sponge and really soaking in everything and learning what I wanted to take away in a positive way and what I did not want to take away and what I learned not to do. It's pretty cool.
Thanks, Artie. Over to you, Aaron.
All right. Can everybody hear me? Good. All right. How's everybody doing? Wow, that's a good question. I had to think about that. So I guess my first job out of college with industry relevance was probably at a sports and athletic complex. I was a security supervisor, and there I held, many hats. So I had to learn a lot about, the setup and breakdown of the events. I got to learn a lot of the background of production and putting on events. And even just being in security, I had to lend, my hand in many different ways. So I think the thing I learned best was just being flexible, teamwork, working with others, communicating. And as Jen said, there is long hours and broadcasts, so you'll have to endure that, but it's fun. You build a family with the people that you spend these long hours with. So I think just the teamwork and flexibility is what I learned.
Say it again. Katie, over to you. I'm gonna give the question again, just as a refresher. How's that? What was your first internship or job, and what is something you learned there that you still abide by today?
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. My name's Katie Braden, and I am with Sinclair. My first job out of college was at a company called Wedding Wire, which that's why I can describe it as it was the Yelp of weddings, basically. So I came on actually in a temporary position in the HR department, and very quickly finished the project, and they wanted to bring me on full time. And I think what I really took away from that experience is very similar to what Jen and some of the others have said. Put in the work, really take the opportunities as they come to you. No is never the answer. It's always, how can I help? What can I be doing? How can I continue to learn and contribute to the organization? And so that is, where I started. And it was really interesting to learn about, kind of the back end of how the organization works from HR, and then, really translating into the sales and HR department more full time. So really take the opportunities as they come, never coast, always say yes, and put in the work.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie. And last but not least, Nina.
Hi, everyone. Can you all hear me? Perfect. Okay. So my first job out of college was a little bit different from everyone else. Actually, my first job was a summer swim coach. For back in the day, my summer swim team, I grew up swimming, and so grew up from swimming to be head coach, which was really a cool moment. But I think, being a coach for a team really taught me a lot of transferable skills that I still use today. So, learning how to motivate, learning how to communicate with different people with different skill sets, really how to stay patient and stay organized, just because you're dealing with 200 kids and their families and other things as well. So a little hectic at times, but I think the biggest thing is just learning how to communicate, which has been, I think, for all of us, just been a huge part of our job, communicating with different people.
Awesome. Thank you, Nina. Okay, now we're going to send it back to Jen who's going to share about her television with us.
Yes. Can you get, all right, there's a shot, slides coming up now. So just to kick things off. So I do early career recruitment for all of Hearst Television in various different departments that we have. Overall, we've got 35 different television stations in 29 different media markets. We service about 24 million news households across the board. All of our stations are focused on local newscasts. So think about when you turn on your local news, what that looks like. That's who we are. We have internships, paid internships across the board at every single one of our stations. Areas that you can go into, especially what you guys would be interested in here, is the production side of things for the Emerson Coleman Fellowship. That's a great way to get into production side of the business, but also eventually could lead to a creative services position, which is essentially the marketing team. That's a nice funnel to get to that. Some folks end up going straight into that creative services realm from either the Emerson Coleman Fellowship or just a paid internship with us, but that's a route. The other thing is technology. So say you take the technology program here with NABLF and you do an internship, and then you end up wanting to work with Hearst. We've got what's called the Marty Falbell Technology Fellowship. I think we had 2 or 3 TAP students last year that ended up joining us. So it was great to have this partnership and give these opportunities to you guys that are here in the room today. Hopefully that'll end up being in the program. This is a post-grad 10-week program, fully paid, and you learn the ins and outs. Is essentially more so if you've already done an internship with us and you've done this program through NABLF, this will be your time now during this 10 weeks to really hone in on exactly the area of tech for local TV that you want to be in, whether that be the hands-on aspect of it or the IT aspect of it. And then after that, you're given a full-time role within the company at one of our stations. So that's another opportunity to funnel into the technology and IT area. It is very rare that we have people that come out of college that go into any higher roles than that, just because they don't teach you broadcast television in school anymore. So there are a lot of nuances that you need to learn before you are given a full-time role on a team. The Sales Account Associate Program. So this is for your advertising, marketing, sales people that are interested in that route. Similar thing, we've got those internship programs at some of our stations, but we also have what's called the Sales Account Associate Program. So this is something I really loved that we implemented. We saw students come out of college and become account executives, which is a step after the SAA program, and they would flop. We had not a great success rate because people were coming out of school trying to figure out life, trying to figure out what it was to be in the broadcast industry, and then worrying about commission on top of it. So the SAA program that we have is fully paid anywhere between 9 to 12 months. And really, it's just based on you and your learning. So we make an environment where you're encouraged to not just go out with the salespeople, but make phone calls, take the proper training with all of the people that we are working with, learn the new AI that we're implementing, all the different systems that go into becoming an account executive. Some people in 6 months come to us and say, we're ready. We've been making cold calls. We've been getting clients. We think we're ready. The manager thinks we're ready. And they're promoted to account executive and they get their book of business. Some folks at 12 months say, hey, you know what, I'm still weak on these few points and I need a little bit more help. So we give them that extra time until they are ready to become an account executive. The bottom line is we want to make sure that you're comfortable and confident in what you do. And also you're taking people's money, right? So a business is relying on you to be successful. Their business, their family, they're sending their kids to college, all of that relies, on the success and what you can provide them to. So we want to make sure you're ready to deliver that to them. So that's a really great program. Creative services, we talked a little bit about creative services and going maybe from the Emerson Coleman Fellowship to this. It's if you like production and you have any sort of like movie background, directing background, this is a great area too. So this fellowship, we generally just pull from our intern pool. This is not something that we post on our website. So this is a 6 to 12 month period where you're working with the creative services team to learn the ins and outs of what they are doing. The creative services team essentially is in charge of all of the branding for the station. So think about it as somebody standing in the corner and saying, hey, look over here. There are those people. They're making sure that the viewers turn into us and not just on, the traditional TV that you see, but our streaming services, our digital sites, billboards, sides of buses, graphics, all of that kind of stuff. They're working on to make sure the viewers come to us. For instance, last year, our station in New Orleans, they did the entire Super Bowl parade there. That was the first time the NFL had done something like that. They also designed the graphics with the side by side with the NFL, because New Orleans has this kind of its own flair. So that was a cool opportunity for that certain creative services team to do. So that's a great route if you've got that kind of film, photography, production side of you as well. And then the Fred Young Producing Fellowship, this is really more so if you're in the news world and you like writing and putting a show together, creating a show from start to finish, being the head of essentially that show for a certain period of time. That's a great opportunity for you. You just have to know a little bit more of a news background. So those are kind of the great entry level points in all different areas of the business. We have other positions too that are on top of this, but I think this was a really great kind of, if you're taking an NAB/LF program, these are where we would definitely funnel you and consider you for positions. No? Any questions for me specifically?
Yeah, if anyone has questions, feel free to chat those. And Jen, we'll circle back to those when we're done.
Okay, cool.
This
Sounds
round.
good.
All right, let's move over to Artie with Katz Media Group.
Hi again, everybody. So Katz Media Group, we have been around since 1888. And it's very funny, I'm following Jen, because Hearst Newspapers was our first client back in 1888. And we enjoyed a long relationship with Hearst over the years, which has been great. So next slide is kind of tells you who we're all about. We're a sales organization. So there are other people on this call who are broadcasters. So we represent broadcasters. We represent television stations, 450 of them across the country. We represent radio stations, 3,500 of them across the country. We're the largest TV and radio representation firms in the country. And we've also expanded our offerings to digital video and digital audio and CTV, because linear, the legacy media, it's all changing, as you all know. You all consume media a lot differently than some of us on this screen have. But all the people who are going to be in these programs, and Katz sponsors the Media Sales Academy. So if you're looking for sales, Katz can offer you a plethora of different options of what to sell. Again, regular television, radio, digital video. We have a great digital offering that's a little bit unique, and some people could say there are a lot of the same things being offered out there by a lot of companies. Our digital video offering has a unique property to it. And our digital audio and CTV, we have Spotify, we have AM/FM streams, Unidos and United, which are very large Hispanic and Black American audio offerings, podcasting. We have it all. So really, if you're looking for any kind of media, Katz represents it in terms of audio and video. Next slide, please. So internships. We have a summer internship program. We were delighted to have Taibu So, who went through the Media Sales Academy and interned at Katz last summer. And if you wanted to reach out to her to ask her about how she felt about the program, I think that would be a great introduction to us from somebody who's actually going to be in your shoes if you're in the Media Sales Academy. The programs it's all in New York, and it's from June 8th to July 23rd this summer. In terms of applications, they're not even up yet, but it's going to be February 13th. It will be up on our website shortly. And it's just a great opportunity for you to learn different parts of our business. You can learn about ad sales, marketing, radio, TV, research, digital media sales. All those areas have internships in them. So again, it's really an awesome program. You will have a mentor who is assigned to you, so you're not going through it alone. You will work with the other interns in the company, and part of what is done in each vertical that we have, whether it be TV, radio, digital video, digital audio, there are presentations made by a number of interns together. So you work as a team and you learn within your vertical. And you can also talk to everybody in the company and just learn all about everything that Katz is all about, which is really cool. Next. So current job openings for anyone who's looking for a role. The account executive role actually has just been filled. I'm sorry to tell you if that's what you were really looking for television in New York. We currently have a digital account executive opening in Chicago, and that would be something that needs a little bit of digital experience and sales at this point. So if you're a younger person who's still in college, that would not be for you. But the CAT's digital account coordinator, that's an entry level role. And the account coordinator roles in all of our verticals, to me, are the best way to learn because you learn from the ground up. And in that role, you would be involved in the execution of our campaigns, coordinating internal departments, and making sure all the reporting is done the right way and working internally and also with the clients and customers. So to me, one of my first roles in this industry, in any industry, when I started, as I told you, I was an assistant. So you learn from the ground up, and I think that's a great building process and building blocks for you to succeed in anything you're going to do. So we welcome sponsoring this program. For those of you who go in the MSA, you'll be meeting me the opening weekend along, with Jen and probably some others. And we hope you are really interested in everything we have to say.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Okay, we're gonna move over to Aaron with NAP Group.
All right. How's everybody doing? My name's Aaron Princess. On the talent acquisitions team here at NEP. Now, we are a little bit different. We're in a different sector than some of the sales and different things that I've heard. We are one of the industry leaders in live broadcast and events production services and solutions. So I know that's a lot, but what that means is we handle a lot of behind the scenes of what you see on the TV screen. So we delve in with a lot of pre, post, and live production services. So think of the audio engineers, the lighting engineers, the cable engineers. We deal with a lot of network engineers. And then to pull that all together, our broadcast engineers are kind of a jack of all trades. So ultimately, that they are our gold standard in our organization. But we do have so many different areas and departments within broadcasting that we service that once you get your foot in the door, the sky's the limit. So I'm here to kind of present some information, I guess, to let you know how you can get your foot in the door here with us at NEP. And I think you can click to the next slide. Okay, yes. And this just tells you, as I was saying, about our global outreach, how many different areas, departments. We are on so many different continents and countries, as well as within America. We have about 1,800 employees within the United States. I'm responsible for recruiting within the United States. We also have recruitment outside internationally as well. Now we deal with three major areas within the next slide. Next slide. Yeah, there you go. We deal with three different major areas within broadcasting: live events, broadcast and media solutions, and virtual studios. Our live events, think of LED lights. If you think of concerts, the Taylor Swift signs when she's on the stage, or the video displays. Think of the audio engineers, and they deal with the system integrations. So we have companies like Creative Technology. I don't know if you may have heard those names, or Faber. And then to move on to our broadcast and media solutions, this is our bread and butter of our company. It's our mobile units. This is where our broadcast engineers come into play. Our studio engineers, we deal with our Fox studio. We have our ESPN studio based in New York. We also have equipment rental through the services. As you can see, we offer numerous different production services through broadcast solutions. And then as you move on to virtual studios, we deal with a lot of the virtual graphics, the virtual sets. I know An example they like to throw around is the Polar Bear Express. You know, they had a hand in developing that. One of our groups, the Halon group, as well as the Mandalorian as well. So as I said, as you can see, there's so many different departments and avenues once you get into our company that we offer. The sky is the limit. So next slide. If you just hit play. So this is just a little video about the overall company. And
we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
all right. Next slide. I think you just hit it. Just to enter again.
We're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There you go. So as you can see, we're involved in so many different things. And it's kind of nice to see once you get in and you're a part of it that, you know, you'll be able to tell your family and friends, hey, you know, I had a part in, you know, the production of Thanksgiving football that's coming on Thursday night, or, you know, whether it be the World Series that just happened. So once you're involved, and I'm not even on the ground, so I feel like I have a part in it too. So it is nice to be involved in that. Now, I want to tell you how specifically more so about the positions and basically how you can get your foot in the door with us. Um, our broadcast engineers, like I said, they're our tier standard. That's what you are going to be working towards. You know, they are the ones that handle our mobile units. So if you're going to an NFL game or a baseball game, you're walking up, you see the television trucks outside. That's what we do. You know, we customize broadcast production trucks, working with, you know, our clients, whether it be ESPNs, the CBSs, the ABCs of the world, whatever they need to customize that event, we can provide that solution for them. So our engineers are kind of a jack of all trades. They handle everything from switches to routers to even HVAC to they're electricians. They dubbed as audio engineers, but which is good because starting out where you guys are coming, I don't know everybody's background, but a lot of this is, you know, a hobby. It's a hobby that turned into a career. Our engineers are passionate about what they do, and they're engineers that have just cut their teeth just by tinkering throughout their careers, whether it be, you know, they spent time as an audio engineer and then they said they felt moved to go to maybe a cabling engineer, or they wanted to do network engineer. So our engineers aren't they don't have one specific background, which is difficult and kind of neat at the same time. So if you're looking at this and you're saying, well, I don't know if I have that background, you probably do. If you've touched on electronics, you probably have what it is, what you need to become an engineer here. You just have to kind of take that initiative to learn different things within the industry. Now to get to the broadcast level, we do have an apprenticeship program, and that's where we are partnering with NAB. I guess let me, oh, if you press play, I forgot this video was one of our HDN studios. So if you can see that, those are our cameramen, you know, our associate producers, our technical producers. As you can see, the on-air talent with Stephen A. Smith. I don't know if you recognize him, and Molly Karen. But, you know, we don't deal with more so the on-air talent. It's more so the off the air behind the scenes. So that's what you'll ultimately be working up to. But to get your foot in the door, we have our apprenticeship program. If you'll hit the next slide. Yes. Okay. So our apprenticeship program is a 1 to 2 year program. Now it could be longer, it could be shorter, just depending on your background. Because like I said, people do come in with different sort of experience, and they don't even know that they have touched this equipment before. But I know now the industry is moving towards an IP base, so I guess that's a little bit of industry knowledge for your up and coming students. If you guys we're looking for more of network engineers. So if you are computer oriented, if you like to play with the cloud, you like IP based transmissions, this might be something that you would want to consider, because we are moving towards, more so from the old fiber to more cloud based. It is paid, it is full time. You would get health benefits, and then you do get paid time off. The unfortunate thing, you do have to relocate, but we will reimburse you for that. And the position is located in Pittsburgh at our headquarters, and that's actually where I'm located as well. So you'll spend time in each department. They'll give you time, whether it be 3 to 6 months. You'll spend time learning everything that our engineers do from the ground up. You'll learn time racking cables or making racks. You'll learn time building switches. You'll learn time understanding how systems talk to each other, and systems integration. So once you're able to complete that and you graduate, this is a remote position. You are able to live anywhere you want and within the US, but it is a travel heavy position. You just have to be close to an airport, as we say, and it is a road warrior position. So I do want to paint that picture that, it is fun. You do get to explore. You do get to see the world. You're involved in a lot of major events, but it is hard work. You're on the road. The events, as we know, have long hours. Shows can last anywhere from 14 to 16 hours. And then you're on to the next show. So it's not more so a job. I like to say it's a lifestyle, and it's a passion, and it's a career. So like I said, if you've touched an electronic, you're pretty much in the door. You're starting there. So next slide. Okay. And this just talks about our current positions, things that I'm currently looking for, or me and my recruiting team, we're looking for broadcast engineers with experience. Typically our engineers have 5 to 10 years, but obviously you guys aren't coming in with that. So you would fall under the engineering apprenticeship program. We also do hire field shop technicians, which is akin to our apprenticeship program, but that also is in Pittsburgh. But our program is in the summer and fall. We do typically have classes of 3 to 5 students. It is competitive. I'm not gonna lie. But if you are able to get your foot in the door, like I said, the sky is the limit there. We are looking for currently network engineers, CCNA backgrounds, if you have CCNP or a Cisco background. We also have our associate producers that we're looking for, play-by-play, replay analyst. That position is down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we also are looking for a help desk, IT help desk here in Pittsburgh. So I think, some of those positions may be, the last two are more so entry level. And then we have our apprenticeship program that I think, if you're starting out, those might be something you want to look into. But eventually you can work your way up to becoming a broadcast engineer.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Really appreciate that sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're going to toss it over to Katie with Sinclair.
There we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Braden, and I am the senior sales recruiter here at Sinclair. And I know you're probably seeing AMP Sales and Marketing, and you're like, what is that? So AMP Sales and Marketing is really our unified advertising sales force. So similar to what I already said, we are a sales-driven organization as well. And really, what AMP means, it's not an acronym, it's not a name, it really is a mission for us. So we are amplifying communities, we are amplifying the reach that we have, our innovation, and most importantly, we are amplifying you as early career and any point in your career individuals. So like I said, AMP is Sinclair's unified ad sales and integrated marketing team that really fuses innovation, creativity, and tech forward advertising campaigns with brands across the nation. So this is a team that both creates and executes our award-winning campaigns that are really tailored to perform at the pace both media and advertising partners want and what the market is demanding. So as you can see from this map here, Sinclair, we are located all across the US. So we have about 180 television stations that we own and operate. That's really where we got our foundation as a business and have really taken that, times 100 and amplified it since then. So AMP really leverages the strength of all of our television stations, as well as the 80 plus owned and operated digital assets that we have. So it really empowers brands to activate across news, entertainment, sports through television, connected TV, digital, social media, video, audio, and ad-supported streaming businesses. So we are really working with local partners to amplify and reach their target audiences at scale and unleash high performance power that drives results for them and helps change lives of a lot of these local businesses and partners through advertising. So what I want to focus on specifically for opportunities. So Sinclair has had the pleasure of working with the NAB Media Sales Academy, which you've heard about in earlier in this session, which is a really great experience to really understand the reach and how impactful a career in media sales can be. And so, in our experience working with this organization in the past, we have brought in both interns as well as full-time sales and marketing specialists and associates to the organization, which is really exciting. Had the pleasure of working with a lot of them and have been able to see them really grow their careers here and make a huge impact in what they're doing. So I want to talk about two specific opportunities that are available full-time, and then I'll kind of get into work here as well. So the sales and marketing associate position is, that's a very entry-level position. We hire that, full-time. And really what you'd be doing is supporting our AMP sales and marketing team from start to finish on sales process, digital marketing and advertising campaigns, and then continuing to build those client relationships. And then, typically when you start in the sales and marketing associate role, I've seen people get promoted into this specialist role in as little as 4 to 6 months. This is a place where if you, like I said earlier, put in the work, you will be rewarded. So our sales and marketing specialists are, essentially digital media consultants for local businesses in all of these markets here. So they are really working start to finish on their sales process with clients and then continuing to build out and grow these advertising strategies with them thereafter. So we are very customer centric. We always are looking for the next big thing, especially with how we can continue to grow these local communities that we're in. And talking about internships a little bit. So with the Media Sales Academy program, we will place interns pretty much anywhere in the country. As you can see, we've got locations everywhere. And really, it's just a matter of asking that market if they are interested in having an intern, which 10 times out of 10 they are. So we will allow you to join one of these markets, really understand the fundamentals and the foundation of media sales, all of our assets, all of what we do, and then continue to grow your career here. And so I hope that, in February, I'll be able to meet some of you in person for the Media Sales Academy. I think the other thing I'd like to point out about, Sinclair and AMP specifically is, we really believe in investing in our people. So, this is not a place where you will come and just start in the role and expected to be do all of the things that you're supposed to do. You will have access to training, mentorship, internal mobility, anything that really helps you thrive. We will provide you the resources and give you the agency to do that. And so, and the other good thing about this too is, no matter where you start, say you have an internship in Seattle, Washington, and you want to locate to West Palm Beach, Florida, that is a very easy transition for you to do. Even in our full-time roles, we, really want to make sure that, we are flexible and can give you that opportunity to advance within the company. So I have just on these couple of slides, the sales and marketing associate and specialist role are both linked. So you'll be able to see all of our offerings, read a little bit more about the job description. And then I'm also going to drop my email and my LinkedIn in the chat here. So please reach out to me at any time. I'm to connect, answer any questions you have, give you a little bit more insight into what we do. And I really hope to be able to meet some of you here in the next couple of months.
Wonderful, Katie. Thank you so much. All right. We're going to finish with Nina from Tegna. Take it away.
Perfect. Well, hi, everyone. Talent acquisition partner over at Tegna. So quick overview of Tegna. We are a broadcast media company. We own and operate 64 local TV stations in 51 markets. So some of you I saw in Hartford. We have one in Hartford, in Atlanta, Little Rock, all over the country. And so today I just really want to share more about, one of our common entry-level programs, which is our 2026 summer internship program. So this is a great opportunity for you to see what it's like behind the scenes and really get paid to do it. So I'm going to start off with the basics. So when is it? Our summer internship program runs from June 1st to August 7th. It's a 10-week paid full-time internship. And so you are working full-time. So that is 40 hours a week, and you're getting that hands-on experience, but you're also earning a paycheck while doing work that matters. So what can you do as an intern? So we have opportunities across three main areas. So the first is our producer. So that will be both on the news and the digital side. So this is for students who love storytelling, research, and creating engaging content. We have on-air interns who really dream of reporting, anchoring, or just presenting on camera. Our sales interns for students interested more on the business side of media, really where being creative meets strategy and building relationships. But no matter what major you are, there's always a way to connect your intern strengths just in the world of media with Tegna and then with all of the other companies as well. And so where can you intern? So as I mentioned earlier, we are located all across the country. And so we have anywhere from large markets like Denver, DC, Dallas, smaller, and really everywhere in between. So wherever you're placed, you're really be part of that local news station and that team. And they're all dedicated to telling impactful local stories and serving the local audiences as well. And so what can you expect as an intern? So one thing I love about our internship, it isn't a copy run, make copies internship. You'll receive, again, that hands-on and meaningful work assignments. You're going to get real feedback and really contribute to the work that goes on air or online. You'll participate in weekly career development workshops. And that is really designed to help you grow early in your career. So we go over everything about, we've done on script writing for ad sales, for how to build that reel for on air. So really wanting to make sure that you're gaining those skills to help you beyond the internship. And then also you're just learn from award-winning professionals who honestly love mentoring emerging talent like yourselves and having interns. So you'll be able to really see that difference that we make in our communities. And again, your gain professional portfolio. We want every single intern to leave our internship with something tangible that they can put on LinkedIn, on video to help them continue in their career. Again, you have mentors from some of the best within the industry, and then you'll also have that exposure to our cutting edge digital storytelling and innovation. So you'll really finish the summer with just new skills, kind of a new confidence, and just a network that's gonna cheer you on just as you from your internship and throughout your career as well. So this is probably our biggest one. We do have other early career opportunities through our producer and residence program as well, but you can always contact me. My information's there. I'll put it in the chat as well, and just happy to share more information just about TAGNA and really finding the right fit for you all.
Fantastic. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you, Nina. My name is Pamela Sever, and I'm the program manager here. I'm just gonna give them a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you, Nina. My name is Pam Sever, and I'm the program manager here at NABLF. Thank you so much to all our program sponsors. We would not be able to offer these valuable training opportunities without your support. And thank you to our friends at HERS, CADS, NEP Group, Sinclair, and TAGNA, Jen, Artie, Craig, Katie, and Nina. Thank you for making the time. For those asking about NABLF's fellowships, my colleagues will be dropping the application links in the chat, except for ECF. But I encourage our company representatives to also drop in the links to the programs they discussed today. For those students who are interested in the MSA deadline extension, please apply soon using the code Lunch and Learn. We are already accepting applicants, so don't delay. And if you have any questions, please feel free to add them to the chat or unmute yourself. We do want to be respectful of time. But for now, I'm going to answer a couple of questions in the chat. We can start real quick with Jen. What are some opportunities in the IT department?
So we have a broadcast IT technologist is generally the role that you would be looking at after the Marty Fellowship with us, or even the broadcast.
Can't hear you, Jen.
Oh,
and you are not muted.
1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me?
And while we give Jen an opportunity to figure out what's happening, a lot of the folks that are representing the companies have shared their email address or LinkedIn. So we encourage students to please make that connection and reach out directly as well. Okay, let me go to the next question. I think this is for, are there any certifications or technical skills that your team looks for in IT roles? And I think we can open that to pretty much any company rep that may want to answer. Aaron?
Okay. Yeah, I know specifically our IT positions, we are looking for CCNA, certifications. I'm sorry, CCNP. My mind slipped. There's so many certifications. Sometimes Dante certifications. Now that's an audio combined. And it gets kind of tricky because that's when you start to combine skill sets. But yes, IT based is, I would just say more so if you have Cisco experience, or just on a basic background. If you have ticketing, if you have Active Directory deployment, if you've ever done any PC repairs, things of that nature. That's kind of what we're looking for, more the hands-on aspect.
Jen, let's give it another try.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is why we need engineers to help with these problems. So yes, after the Marty Fabo Fellowship, we've got a general broadcast technologist role, which really does kind of a mix of all different worlds, because now IT touches literally everything that we do. So that's a way to go. And then we have specific IT, broadcast IT roles as well within the company.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions in the chat? You can feel free also to just unmute yourself. All right, another general question. How important is it to develop a personal brand or portfolio in broadcasting? What should that ideally include? Nina, do you want to take that?
Yeah, of course. So I think that's going to depend on what you want to do. So I think when it comes to for example, for our internships, if you want to be on air, that's like a big thing, is to have that portfolio reel. Sometimes in producing, sometimes in marketing, and for our marketing teams, they love a good portfolio. When it comes to being more on the producing on air side, not necessarily, but I would say across the board for all of you, if you don't have a portfolio, LinkedIn is huge. So I would say, like, for your resume, anything, making sure that your LinkedIn is updated and set.
Nina, do you mind if I chime in on
No,
on
not
that?
at all.
Well, no, I'm just to, I guess what I see in this industry, it is small. So just to speak on that, your brand, it's so small that everybody knows everybody. So you have to be careful of, your professionalism, how you act. I would like to say you're always on an interview. So if you're speaking in terms of your brand that way, yes, but in terms of, on-air talent, that's something totally different. But, in this industry, just be aware that it is small. As big as it is, it's very small.
I add on to that one more thing. Consider everything that you are posting online on your social media accounts your personal brand now. So if you are in college, this is your last year of college, and you've been posting away, you drinking at parties, just know that is now your professional brand. So start thinking about, how can I output to the world how I want to look? When I look back in 5, 10 years, am I going to be proud of what I have posted? Because that is now that these two worlds collide, your professional and your personal lives. When you're done with school, they will be one and the same. So try and think about how you can clean those spaces up on top of building things like LinkedIn and your portfolios.
Thank you so much. And then we're going to just take one last question. General question for NAB. Are all company sponsors in today's virtual event possible companies that we will be interning with for the NAB apprenticeship programs, MSA and TAB? And the answer is yes. So they support us not only financially, and obviously with the knowledge, as you've seen here today, but also we work hand in hand with them to make sure that we place you all, those that have been accepted into the program, at either radio or television stations across the US. So yes, it is a great entry point into one of these companies. We're going to close it off here. Thank you all so much for joining. I do want to take a minute to point our broadcast career link. This is where you can find pretty much all the job opportunities in the industry from various companies. If you're interested in an immediate job opening, please check it out. With that, please again apply for MSA. And we look forward to meeting you here when we kick off in 2026. Thank you so much, everyone.